Hello, Shrewdness fans. Welcome to the Shrewdness Podcast. Chiz has his shirt on. Dex has his shirt on, the pink one. I feel left out. I have a different gray shirt on under this. So
Work shirt.
Yeah. Came from work. What can I say? Hey, we're super excited to bring another edition of the Shrewdness Podcast to you. Tonight's episode is going to focus on Bears with Hands, the tight end
That's
group,
right, baby.
for Guillotine fantasy football rankings. We're going to talk through the top 10 tight ends tonight. If you've been following the Shrewdness for a while, you know that we've done some other episodes recently on the other positions. And our plan for all of you guys is to have top 10 of each position that we're going to put out on our website. And then eventually, here in the next couple of weeks before your draft, we'll have our full list of rankings out there for your use. So hopefully you can find some value in that and be prepared for your upcoming Guillotine fantasy football drafts. Like I said, tonight we're going to talk about tight ends. And Chiz is going to tell us a little bit about strategy for tight ends. And then we're going to throw it over to Dex to go through our rankings, our blind rankings, and how they turned out as a composite score to rank our top tight ends.
That's right. So if you guys are just getting us for the first time, make sure to head on over to the shrewdness.beam.ly. That is the website you want to bookmark for the season because it's going to have constant content, rankings, betting. All that is going to be on the shrewdness.beam.ly. So make sure you go over there right now. Pause us. Go ahead over. Bookmark. We'll wait. Okay, thanks. Tonight we're going to talk about tight ends. And when you're thinking about Guillotine, you've heard us talk about this consistently, is we look at floor, we look at schedule, especially early schedule, because that's when you're most likely to get chopped. You know, as the season goes on in Guillotine, you get more of a super team because you start getting able to pick up people and you're going to start getting the top of the top. But at the beginning, it's when it's a little dicey because you're going to be starting some guys that you're like, is this guy even playing? I don't know, because you got an 18-team league. You got 8 starters. That's a lot of players. So you're going to have like 250 players drafted. And when you start looking at that 250 range of players, you're not going to know who they are most of the time. Now, tight end is a really interesting position because, you know, most leagues and in a standard Guillotine league, you're going to have one tight end you have to start, and then you're going to have a couple flex positions. You can flex a tight end, but as you'll see when we go through these rankings, there is a very steep cliff when it comes to tight ends.
Yeah.
There are productive tight ends and there are blocking tight ends. And about half of the league is blocking tight ends that may get the ball thrown to them 1 or 2 times a game. And you hope they're in the red zone and maybe they get a touchdown. But for the most part, it's very heavily, it's very top heavy. And so when we talk to these top 10, they won't be that much of a surprise. We will talk about some that are kind of on the edge too for different reasons. We'll give you that rationale. But the same thing we're keeping the same thing in mind, which is floor, right? Who's going to consistently get you some points? And especially at tight end, that's really key because zeros are not uncommon at tight end.
Right.
And so you want to try to get somebody who's going to put up something because you're likely going to be going against somebody who's going to have a real small number at tight end. So when you talk about draft strategy, we'll talk about this when we get to the overall draft about where you take that tight end. That becomes really important because there are only probably 10 or 11 that you really want on your team, and everybody else is going to be filler. So there's going to be some people that are drafting, and you might be one of them, that's drafting a tight end that you're like, oh gosh, like, I don't know what to do with this guy. So we'll try to help you think about that strategy when we get our overall rankings out. But tonight, the Bears with Hands, the top 10 Bears with Hands, the guys that can actually catch. Let's kick it off, Dex, with our number 10.
All right. Pruitt, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
There it is. Coming in.
We're
at number
high-tech.
10, we got Philadelphia tight end Dallas Goeddert. Now, he is somebody that finished 11 last year, but there's some things that are going in his favor. So losing A.J. Brown is one of those things. So a red zone target plus someone that moves it down the field. Normally, I mean, last year wasn't A.J. Brown's best year, as we talked about in our wide receiver episode, which you can go check out on our website. But losing A.J. Brown, he should add targets. Now, last year, he had a career year with touchdowns. So he had 11 touchdowns. That is a little above average, quite a bit. That's twice as many as previously he'd had.
Yeah. But twice as many.
Yeah, absolutely.
Previously that.
But when you look at what we've talked about, again, for Jalen Hurts, for Saquon, and for Devontae Smith, the schedule's super nice. So the first 2 weeks, he plays a bottom 5 rated secondary and defense overall. So Washington and at Tennessee. Then overall, Philadelphia has one of the best schedules, period. So on different websites for different kinds of scoring, I mean, looking at Guillotine scoring primarily, he goes as high as projection 6 tight end this year. So he comes in at 10 for us. And there's some good things to like about him, some things that kind of give you pause. But like you were saying, when you have a cliff and it's right around the 10, really, I mean, there's about 20 playable tight ends, I think, in Guillotine. Playable. Then there's 10 you want. And I think he's probably the bottom of the 10 that you want, but he's pretty good. So, Pruitt, why don't you tell us a little bit about Dallas Goedert, what you like, and why he's in the top 10?
So you're exactly right on the projected scoring, right? There's about 8 or 9 that are a little above and beyond the normal tight end. And then it flattens out where the next 10 are all, one touchdown away from having the same number of points across the whole season type thing. So they're all going to get, like you said, Chiz, a few catches a game, 3 catches for 20 yards or something like that, where it's going to get you some points, but not a lot. That's the third tier, right? That's the tight end 9 or 10 through 20 are all kind of in that about range. So to me, Dallas Goedert is toward the top end of that tier. He's not going to blow away some week where he has 2 touchdowns and 100 yards, most likely. But he's been around long enough that he's consistent. He's played the game a long time. He's been with this quarterback for many years now. So I think he'll continue to be a steady producer. And I do like the fact that his number 1 receiver friend from last year has gone away now. So I think he will get a few more targets this year and be a little bit more involved in the offense.
All right, Chiz, Dallas Goedert, tell us why you like him, dislike him. You had him probably the lowest of all of us, so he didn't crack your top 10. Why not?
No, he didn't. And the primary reason is, I feel like he's been playing older than he is. Maybe it's because his hairline is definitely receding. He looks a lot older than he is. But the 2 things concern me. I agree with you guys that he, in theory, should get more targets. He should be a security blanket. That's what I do like about him, is the continuity with Hurts and the offense. So I feel like that's really good, especially early. And I love his schedule. What I don't like is 11 touchdowns last year when, on average, he gets 3. So I feel like he's way due for a regression this year. I think when they get in that red zone, he just happened to get a little more lion's share of the balls last year. I don't think it's going to happen. The thing I don't like about him is his yards per reception.
Oh, it's low.
Were the lowest in his career last year.
Yep.
So while he did have the most touchdowns, his yards per reception were actually lower than any other year he's had. So he's seems to be running shorter routes or not getting as much rack, which is a little bit concerning to me. He's not a bad option for sure. There's a reason we have him at 10. I'll still take him over Rondé Gadsden. So I think he's definitely
only because somebody came and got in his way.
His way. That's right.
We'll talk about that later.
So I feel like he's a solid option. I'm a little more down on him than you two, but I wouldn't feel bad if he falls to me and I've got to play him for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So
he's going to get some touchdowns.
60 catches for 591 yards last year with the 11 TDs. That's Dallas Goedert. He is our 10. Moving up to number 9, and I think this one actually has more upside. You could probably finish way higher than that, is tight end for Dallas, Jake Ferguson, affectionately known as the Turd here at the Shrewdness. So Turd Ferguson is number 9 for us. We are pretty consistent across the board. So 10, 10, and 8 in our personal rankings. He has a nice schedule. They have an explosive offense. He's a big part of it. He's a red zone target for Dak, which is also nice. And he just has a really high floor with targets and receptions. So last year, 82 catches for 600 yards, 8 touchdowns, only 27 years old. He's a perfect Guillotine tight end. So he's going to be a security blanket for Dak. Again, all the things we like, schedule and part of the offense, work in the right direction. So I think that's pretty good. Just give us a little taste of Ferguson down there in Dallas, where everybody loves.
I mean, it's fun to have Turd Ferguson on your team because everybody likes him. So that's one good thing. But they're gonna throw the ball a ton. They're gonna throw the ball a ton. And the thing that I like most about him is that early season schedule. The Giants, Commanders, Baltimore. I don't love Houston, but that first part of that schedule is really what you want.
Yeah,
it's giving you the opportunity to get a touchdown from your tight end, which is a rarity. If you can get a touchdown from your tight end and Guillotine, that's like oxen free. You feel like you're like clear for the for the
it's
week.
House money, baby. Everything
totally is house money. He doesn't run super long routes, but he is a big red zone guy, and I think that continuity there again. Like Dak's got his whole receiving core back, and I feel like they're going to hum early.
Yep.
Which may not be the case with some other ones. I don't know, Prue. How about you? What's your take on the Turd?
You kind of alluded to it. He doesn't run long routes. I'm pretty sure last year he had the most catches in NFL history without having 100 yards.
Wow, I believe that.
It was like 13 catches
in a game.
In a single game. He had
I think he had 13 for
13 catches for like 82 yards or something like that.
He was targeted 14 times.
That's crazy.
It's really hard to do. That is a lot of
I think he had like
routes.
a 2-yard touchdown and a 4-yard touchdown or something, and just lots of check downs. Like, it was ridiculous. But that is exactly why Jake Ferguson is in our top 10, is because every time the ball is thrown to him, he will catch it. And he might not get a lot of yards, but every catch is a point. Right.
That's
and
right.
when you need 4 points out of your tight end, it's almost a guarantee that I started to say Turd Ferguson, but Jake Ferguson will get you at least 4 points a week.
To your
good
point,
enough.
To your point on that, Prue, he was targeted 102 times last year and he caught 82 balls. So
because it's easy to hand it off.
Really good ratio of catches to target. So I agree with that part. And he's very sure-handed.
Yep. He's legit. He's a perfect Guillotine tight end. So if you get him, for one, you'll get him late. So you're going to get a really good, solid tight end. Probably, I don't know. You don't have to worry about wasting a first or second round pick on him.
No,
for sure.
Right. No, exactly.
He's a later guy to fill out your tight end spot. All right, let's go to our number 8 tight end. So this guy, tight end, Tucker Kraft, Green Bay. So he tore his ACL last year, but before he did that, he was having a monster year. So he was tight end 2 when he went out.
Yeah.
Much to the chagrin, I believe Chisholm had him last year.
Yes.
Man, it was a killer. But he has massive. So he's the exact opposite of Turd Ferguson. He has huge average. They throw down the field. He has massive yak. So after the catch, he breaks other people's ankles and moves around. But the thing is, we're not 100%. If he's played, he's not officially in for week 1, but he's trending towards being ready for week 1. And that's the problem is you get hurt in the middle of the year with an ACL. It's hard to get back. So we would probably have him higher if we knew for sure he was playing. And he is in camp and he's going through drills, but I think he's on that limited drills. But at the end of the day, he's got massive upside. And if he's healthy in vertical week 1, Tucker Kraft is someone you can probably get late and just have a ton of upside. He's got a high floor too. So it's one of those high floor. He's the one that Green Bay, Jordan Love really throws to him quite a bit. And when they lost a couple of their wideouts this year, I think that's going to help even more.
Yes.
So we all had him in our top 10. So we had him in our top 10. But Chiz, tell us about Tucker Kraft because you had him on your team last year. Tell us what you saw when you had him.
I got really lucky with him because I got him late, and I did not anticipate him to have the kind of season that he did. I'm not gonna pretend like I was prognosticating Tucker Kraft as like the tight end 2 for the year. But 7.5 games. I'm not counting 8 because he didn't play that full game. 7.5 games, 6 touchdowns. Holy cow.
Yeah.
When you get that out of a tight end, that is ridiculous. He was averaging 14, almost 15 points a game at tight end, and that
he
is
had 200-yard
really
games within that span too. So he had
unheard of.
200-yard games already.
Right? I mean, he gets a fair amount of targets, but it's not like they're giving him the ball 10 times a game. You know, he's fallen somewhere in the 4 to 8 range of targets. He just makes the most of them when he gets them, and I think they're going to recognize that. They don't have standout wide receivers, and so I think he's going to be a big part of the offense. Prue, where's your stance right now on Tucker?
Totally with you. He doesn't have a great supporting cast, so he does get a large target share, large percentage target share. And he's super athletic. So a lot of these tight ends are just big dudes that learned how to block and somewhat catch.
Bears with hands.
When
he's
Tucker
a fast
Kraft,
bear, though. You got to watch out for fast bears.
Oh, yeah, exactly. When Tucker Kraft catches the ball, he's dangerous with it after the catch, right? So he can put a move on the D-back and either run right through him or run around him. Yeah. So I like his upside for sure, and because of his target share and the lack of supporting cast in Green Bay, he's also another great candidate to be your tight end.
That's right. The asterisk we put on him, like Dex said, we'll keep you posted on his injury. Right now the knee's still in question. So, if he's not going to be ready week 1, we'll bump him way down. But he'll be a guy you have on the radar for a super late steal kind of pick potentially.
Yep, for sure. He'd be a good one if he's playing. God, I hope he is. He's fun for fantasy football and for football in general when he's playing. All right, let's go to number 7. So number 7 for our Shrewdness safest tight end to take is tight end from Cleveland. You're like, what? Harold Fannin Jr. And so if you recall, we really liked Harold Fannin.
We were all over Harold Fannin last year.
I mean, he was breaking all sorts of collegiate records when he came into the league, and he's just so athletic. That's the thing. And he doesn't drop anything. He's just so fast, runs. He was raw. That was like the main thing. He's like, well, we don't know how he's going to do in the NFL because he's playing against real competition now. But at the end of the day, when you look at Harold Fannin last year, here's what I like about him. So similar to other elite tight ends in the league, he's the best receiving threat on a bad team. So there's no real standout wideouts on the team. And for him specifically, they have like a new rookie they got in the draft. No one is really there. Njoku has gone to the Chargers, which is what we were talking about. Rondé Gatson would have been kind of nice, little sleeper this year. Then Njoku went and got in his way, so who knows what's going to go on with that. But he's going to get a huge target share. And last year as a rookie, mind you, 72 catches, 731 yards, and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's
now you couple that with a schedule that doesn't include any top 15 defenses for the first 6 weeks. That's pretty nice. Now, who's throwing to him? It's either all pro Shedeur Sanders or all pro Deshaun Watson. Who's quarterback there? Don't know. But at the end of the day, he's the main weapon. You're going to have to throw to him. He's all you have. So Harold Fannin Jr., I like him for that. How about you guys? Let's start with you, Prue.
Yeah, not much to add. He's another like super kind of sleeper last year. Like you said, we kind of knew about him from college and didn't he set an all-time record for catches?
Yes. At Bowling Green.
Yeah. At Bowling Green of all places. We knew of his hands and, his catching ability coming into the NFL, but like you said, it's hard to know how he's going to adapt to, his blocking responsibilities and running routes against NFL linebackers or strong safeties instead of in college. So anyway, he landed well is the point, and he'll continue to get the lion's share of throws this year from whoever ends up being the quarterback.
Whoever's under center.
In Cleveland.
Yes.
Is there any downside, Chiz? You got anything that you're like worried about? I mean, we got him at 7, but
I've got him high, and the reason I'll start out why I have him high. I think he has the easiest first month schedule of any tight end. I think he's got the best schedule for as far as competition of any tight end.
Yeah. So at Jacksonville, at Tampa, and home against Carolina.
Here's the downside. Let me read these names to you. Denzel Boston, Jerry Jeudy, Casey Concepcion, Cedric
Yes.
Tillman, Tylan Wallace, Isaiah Bond.
That is a who's who of top elite wide receivers, is what you just told me.
I don't remember saying any of those names in our top 10 last week, Chiz.
Or
What's up
top
with that?
20 or 30 or 40.
There's a reason for that. So the thing that scares me is if I'm a D coordinator, there's one thing I'm going to stop. I'm going to be like, you go ahead and throw over to Denzel Boston. Go for it. Let him beat me all day. So like that is the one skittishness I have about him. The nice thing about a tight end is they're going to have most of the time an inside linebacker covering them. And most of these inside linebackers can't cover it. There's probably not any inside linebacker, maybe 2 or 3 that could hang with him. The question is, are they going to start, and this is total disrespect, but they've done this to Kelsey in the past, putting a corner on him.
Yeah.
And
the best teams probably will if they have it.
They will. And the thing is, like, if you put a corner and an inside linebacker on him, I don't know if he is mature enough to figure that out yet. Only second year in the league. So that's the downside. But I'm still really high on him. Like, I really like his upside. And also, you mentioned the Deshaun Watson, Shadur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel soap opera at quarterback. So that doesn't make me love it either.
Great. Yeah.
It's not great.
Although a rookie quarterback's best friend is his tight end. And these guys
That's right.
Both, I mean, Deshaun Watson's obviously been around, but he hasn't played much.
He's been around.
To a parlor near you.
Yeah.
So
he hasn't played football much in the last couple of years.
He has not played a lot of football.
All these guys are going to want to throw to the tight end. It's whether or not, like you said, teams start taking him away.
Yeah.
Can he make throws to other teammates to
That's right. Maybe Casey Concepcion, who's a really good wide receiver. He's a rookie though. Maybe he opens it up for a little bit. And I mean, if you get a Jerry Jeudy who knows what he's doing.
Yeah, the run game's going to be pretty good. Quinshon Judkins is real.
Is good. Solid. Dylan Sampson's a great backup. So there's some good running game there for sure.
Yep.
So we like him though. Overall, we do like him. He's our top 10. And he's got a super easy schedule. So now we're getting into the real meat here. So we're heading into the top. Well, is it 6?
I like 6. And frankly, if I'm looking at our list, I think our top 6, this is where you really want to be. 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, we like Goeddert and Ferguson. They're going to be steady Eddies. Kraft's got a lot of upside and a high floor if he plays. And Harold Fannin is the only offense for Cleveland. But when we go into 6 and higher, these guys are actually key components of their team on better teams and with better quarterback play. Right. That you don't have to wonder who's throwing them the ball. You have legit coaches and offensive coordinators that have schemed up and worked these particular guys in. So coming in number 6 for us is Detroit tight end Sam Laporta. And I had him way higher, so he's my number 2. I love Sam Laporta this year. Last year, you just kind of forget about Dre. So he had 9 games he missed because of a herniated disc in his back. And that's never good, right? But he's healthy. Yeah. He's playing in camp. He's all ready to rock and roll. Lest people forget, in 2023 season, he was tight end 1 with 86 catches, 889 yards, and 10 touchdowns. And that was a Ben Johnson-led offense, and he's calling the plays. If only we had another offensive coordinator who loved using the tight end. Well, in comes offensive coordinator Drew Petzing from Arizona, who's been there from 23 to 25. He knows how to use a guy named Trey McBride pretty darn well, and his offense seems to run through the tight end. Yeah. That could be pretty darn appealing. So you couple that with, again, the easiest schedule. I don't even know why they get it. Detroit lucked out with both Vegas' top schedule and the 2025 season win percentage, the easiest schedule. So no matter how you look at it, Detroit is going to have a gravy train. They're favored in 12 games. 12 of 17 games, they're favored with Vegas already. And so when you look at all that, the sky is the limit for Sam Laporta, and he's already shown he can be the best tight end in fantasy. So when you do that with a floor, with a new offensive coordinator who focuses on tight ends, yes, please. So Sam Laporta, I'm kind of all in on him. Frankly, it was close to not put him number one, but when we get there, you're like, oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Right.
But he's pretty darn good. But let's go to Pruitt, who just hates Sam Laporta. Doesn't even want him on his team. Thinks he
Absolutely
blows.
hates him.
Yeah, so there are a lot of good things about him. If you had to have Sam Laporta on your team,
right,
I'm fine with him. I worry a little bit about a new offensive coordinator coming in.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, you're right, he did utilize Trey McBride in Arizona, but Trey McBride didn't play with Jahmyr Gibbs and Amon-Ra Brown.
And Jameson Williams as a alternate wideout. Yeah.
And even Pacheco is going to get some portion of this offense too. So there's a little bit,
legit points.
More mouths to feed in Detroit.
For sure.
Laporta, I felt like, was kind of left out of that offense a little bit last year. Like you said, he was hurt for part of it, but I think he does rebound some. I don't know if he can get back to that top 5. I think there are too many other mouths to feed in Detroit. So that's all that I'm really worried about. But
Those are good points.
He's a great player.
The talent is different in Detroit than it is in Arizona.
Yeah.
Chiz, what do you like, dislike?
Sure.
Where are you at with Sam Laporta?
Yeah, I mean, you guys covered the big stuff. I will say, when you read his fellow starting offensive players versus Harold Fannon's, it is truly night and day. So there should be no double teaming of Sam Laporta, which is a really, really, really good thing. So I do like that, and I think that's why his floor is so safe, and that's what I like about him. He is a guy that gets a lot of red zone targets too. So I like him. He's healthy now.
Herniated disc in his back.
Oh, that's right. It's back.
Yep.
It says he says he's healthy.
Yep.
Back's always a little scary for me. Backs don't tend to get better, but I have him really high because he's got a super easy schedule, like Dex said, and he is basically undoubleable. So. Like,
I love our new words. Undoubleable.
He is undoubleable.
He's the
Trademark.
archetypical tight end for Gio.
Right. And I love his age.
We'll publish our new dictionary on the website too.
That's right. 25 is an awesome age for a tight end. That's like right in the sweet spot, and only about 12 years younger than Travis Kelce. So
that's it.
Yeah.
All right. So that's Sam Laporta. That's our number 6. I want to go to number 5 now. So tight end, he's mercurial. He's a perfect fit for a guillotine shrewdness tight end for us. So Kyle Pitts, senior, Atlanta Falcons tight end. I want to start with Chisholm because you love Kyle Pitts. Tell us why you are maybe a little more skeptical than some of those other ones out there. It's almost like you've been a Kyle Pitts owner in the past. Tell me about it.
That's a burn mark right there from Kyle Pitts, from handling Kyle Pitts early in his career.
Just putting cigarettes out on your hand each week.
Totally. Like, this guy was such a beast in college, and we've talked about it on the Patreon a lot. Like, I'm a big college football fan. I watched this guy at Florida. He was the first round, number 4 overall pick. Because he was that good at tight end. Like, and
Kyle Pitts was ripped too. Just chiseled and fast and big.
He was fast. He ran people over. He ran around people. And this was in the SEC where you have incredible corners and D-backs. And I was like, this guy's going to blow the roof off. And his rookie season,
he did.
He had a pretty good season. He had 1,000 yards, but he only had 1 touchdown.
Yep.
And it was like, what is going on with the touchdown thing? Then 2 years after that, he had huge declines. And I think year 2 is when I had him, which was, of course, his worst year. He had, he got injured. He had 356 yards. It was not good. He averaged 7 fantasy points a game. And then he was kind of in a funk for the next 2 years where he was just middle of the pack, tight end 13, 14, probably. Super inconsistent. There was a lot of ups and downs, which you hate as a guillotine owner because you don't know whether to bench the guy or start a guy. And like, am I going to try to ride the hot hand, or there's no hot hand? It's hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. So his graph is like this all the time. And even last year, which was a good year for him, he had a bounce back year and probably the best year in total of his career. He had 928 yards and he had 5 touchdowns. He's actually a really interesting touchdown trend. 5 years in the league, he's gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So Pencil him in for 6 this year. He's going to
Yeah.
get 6 touchdowns. We know that. I do like the supporting cast in Atlanta. I think Tua is a better step up. He likes the short
It's
passes.
an upgrade.
That's an upgrade for him. You got Drake London. That's a good somebody to take the heat off of you. You got Bijan, who's going to catch a lot of balls too. So I like him. I'm just irrational about him. I'll be completely honest, and everybody's going to have this guy. You've all been burned by somebody in the past.
I hate
Kyle
that guy.
Pitts just burned me so bad that I'm probably ranking him irrationally low. And I will
You
be
still had him at
the
7th
first-
on your list.
I had him
so
at
it's not
7,
horrible.
but you guys had him 5 and 3, and that's probably right. But
Prue,
Man.
tell us the flip side. So those are all the negatives.
all the negatives.
A laundry list. What do you like?
I mean, we kind of already said it. The plus side is that his athleticism is unreal, and his size and speed combination and all that is just so hard to match up.
Yeah,
right?
very.
So
6'6", 250.
and
yeah.
fast.
6'6" and fast just doesn't
And
happen.
250 coming
Yeah.
at you.
So
That's a tough one.
he's really hard to cover. The downside is that you have Drake London on the team, you have Bijan Robinson, so
You have
there's
Darnell
other-
Mooney. I mean, you got all these guys taking.
no, but between
I know I'm messing.
yeah, so I mean that's why he's top 5 though. Is he's got the right situation. I mean, the scary part for me is just his involvement in the offense, and that he doesn't really have any control over that.
Yes.
Right. It's how the offensive coordinator and his quarterback, how they scheme and how they look at him during the game.
Yeah.
Right. So
here-
and just because of that, I'm
Yeah.
a little nervous. But
On that
Yeah.
note, and I like that you brought that up. It's a good segue, as we call it in the business. So, new head coach Kevin Stefanski comes over from Cleveland. Again, he was Minnesota's offense coordinator before that. But regardless, just at Cleveland alone, we just talked about Fannin Jr., who was his coach, Kevin Stefanski. Before that,
Yeah.
David Njoku, a Pro Bowler, tight end with crap load of touchdowns, yards, and catches. There we go. Kevin Stefanski was his coach. So he likes offensive coordinators and schemes that use the tight end.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about Tua. Does he throw to tight ends? I mean, he had Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Why would he ever throw to a tight end? You remember Jonnu Smith a couple years ago?
Oh,
That guy was a baller. I mean, a
Came out
top
of
10
nowhere.
tight end.
Yeah.
It is. So Tua doesn't mind throwing to the open guy if he's a tight end. So I
Right.
think the scheme and I think the way they're going to be setting up the offensive weapons, again, they have some that other people will have to cover. That is great for a tight end.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have to worry about a corner coming down on him. He's going to have
Yeah.
a safety or a linebacker, and that's going to be who he runs around. So
He's
I
a
like that
lot-
upside.
he's a lot closer comparison to Laporta for that reason
Yeah.
than he is for Harold Fannin. Right.
Absolutely.
right.
That
That's
that
right.
immediately earns him a jumping spot or two ahead of Fannin.
He
Yeah.
finished 88 catches, 928 yards in the 5 touchdowns. If
nothing
he
to
was more of
sneeze
a
at.
red zone guy, it'd be more consistent. Because then if he had a 4 for 40 and a touchdown, he'd be sitting at 14 points instead of 8.
Yeah.
So that's kind
That's
of
right.
Kyle Pitts. But that's enough about Kyle. Let's move on to number
I could
4.
talk about Kyle for days, Dex. Come
Who-
on.
Yeah.
Let's do
everybody
a
loves Kyle
whole
Pitts.
episode on Kyle Pitts.
Next time.
Well,
For our
yeah.
audience, we're going to go to number
Maybe
4
next
on our
week.
list on our tight end safety blankets.
Getting into the elite territory here.
Tyler Warren for the Indianapolis Colts, who rookie last year out of Penn State, had a tremendous year. Tyler Warren, awesome. Now, my main concern is not him, is whether Daniel Jones and his Achilles is going to be playing week 1. Because once Daniel Jones went out, Tyler Warren's production went down, which that's not that weird. I mean, quarterbacks matter, and they brought in, again, Phillip Rivers, well past his time. So I'm proud of
He
Phillip
was
Rivers for
coaching
showing
high
he
school
could.
football.
Yes. And then just showed up and played. But Warren's talent is elite. I think what's going to help him is, so Michael Pittman is gone, so that should help increase the targets. I don't think it's going to hurt. Some people have thrown the argument out like, well, no, they can just focus more attention on him. Okay, except he can run the ball, he can take it short, he can run a deep route, he can line up on the line, off the line. They'll find a way to get him open, and he's so good at it. mean, he could arguably be in tight end 1 overall discussions.
Yeah,
so
he could.
we have him at 4 and pretty consistent. So 3, 5, and 6 on our personal ratings. I actually have him the lowest, and I love him. And he ended up at 4, and I think it's fantastic. Again, my only concern is where's he gonna be on quarterback play? And coming back from Achilles,
saying Anthony
sucks.
Richardson doesn't do it for
Inspire
you.
confidence. No, he does not. He does not. No, I mean, maybe his eyeball's working just fine, but I just don't like it. And plus, he's more of a runner. That's also not good.
Yeah.
But Baltimore and that Kansas City, not a bad first couple of weeks for defenses. I don't like Houston, but then you get Washington, Pittsburgh. So again, he's got one landmine out of the first 5 weeks. But Tyler Warren's pretty darn good. But let's go to you, Chiz. So what do you like, dislike?
What I like about him is he's one of the rare rookies that lived up to hype. I'm generally super anti-rookie, and at tight end you got to be a really good blocker to get time, which he obviously was, and he's still got a lot of targets. And you're right, when the quarterback situation changed, his targets went down, which is a little scary, but he is elite talent. And generally speaking, if he has that good of a rookie season, he's going to have an even better sophomore season because he's got a year of learning behind him. 6'6", 256. It's a decent target to throw at across the middle. So I there's a lot to like about Tyler Warren. Obviously, we've got him where we've got him for a reason. He's so stinking safe. Like, if you can get this guy, you don't have to look at tight ends the rest of the year. You're just plugging and playing.
For sure.
True?
Yeah, so that's a good segue into what I wanted to highlight as one of the strengths for him is the strength of schedule is positive, right? They've got an easier than average schedule in Indianapolis. He's another one, if you listen to our wide receiver episode, one of the things I pointed out is having a late bye week is a big advantage, especially for tight ends because you only have one of them.
Right.
Right. And if you have a late bye, your same guy can roll all the way through. Or if you have an early bye, you got to try to pick some scrub up in week 4, to try to get you through week 5 without a tight end.
You're staring down the Noah Fant barrel,
Yeah.
And nobody wants to do that.
So Warren has, positives on strength of schedule and his bye week and his offensive line. Meaning he doesn't have to stay in and block as much. They're capable of blocking and letting him run routes. So he's got lots of positives, and I had him ranked 3rd for that reason. I think he could surprise a lot of folks and be talked about as the most elite tight end in the league this year.
True story.
Jonathan Taylor takes a ton of heat off of you when you've got that kind of running game, and I feel like if you're concerned and you don't want to have to gamble and you just want a nice security blanket that's going to be very consistent, he has very, very few ups and downs. And that's great out of that spot.
Yep. He's just a tight end treadmill, baby. Just keeps on going. All right, let's go to number 3, which we ironically I'd already put at number 4. So we all put him at 4.
Right.
But he comes in at number 3 for the shrewdness because that's how numbers work. That's what math does. You and your math.
Averages.
So tight end from the Bears,
Science.
Colston Loveland. Speaking of tight ends that didn't quite live up to snuff in their early hype. So first round pick last year for the Bears. And everybody's like, oh my God, here comes Laporta, because Laporta, his rookie year for Detroit, did awesome. And Ben Johnson, hello, it's the opposite. It's the same thing.
Totally.
The same thing. That did not work. So, but here's what's up. So Colston Loveland.
He may have burned some people last year.
So here's what's up. He was a second half monster down the stretch for Chicago. So his last 12 games, so you just got to throw away the first 8 weeks. First 8 weeks was 11 catches for 116 yards and no touchdowns. That's all of them together. That wasn't his best week.
It's a lot of heads rolling.
That was 2 months of the season. So you were in November and you're still riding Colston Loveland. No way you were. No, he's been on 6 teams by then. So here's what he did afterwards, though. In the last 12 games for Chicago, to include the 2 playoff games, 59 catches, 790 yards, 6 touchdowns. That's in 12 games. So 2/3 of the season, right? Add another third of that. Woo! We're looking at some nice numbers, like 90 for 1,000 and 9 touchdowns. That's what he was doing. And the thing is,
legit.
he became a focal part of Ben Johnson's offense with Chicago, and he looked good. I mean, there's dudes we've talked about that look a little slow, like Dallas Goeddert and Jake Ferguson. Then you have Colson Loveland. No, he looks like Tucker Kraft. He's the one breaking huge gainers. He's over the middle. He's catching deep balls. He's doing fly routes.
Running seam routes down the middle and stuff, right?
And he is awesome. So Colson Loveland, I'm super high on. And again, no real landmines. Has Philly week 3.
Yeah.
Okay. And they're good, but at least it's home. And I just like everything about Colson Loveland this year. I mean, I kind of was going through my head whether I want to bump him up a little bit more. But again, when you see who 2 and 1 are, you're like, okay, I got you. So Colson Loveland comes in at 3 for us. Prue, give us a little bit about Colston.
Yeah, I was super high on him toward the end of the season. I didn't really pay attention to him. I knew who he was and stuff in the first half of the season, but you weren't seeing any highlights for obvious reasons because he wasn't giving any highlights.
Yeah, there were none.
But when the playoff games came around and Chicago, earned a pretty high seed in the NFC playoffs and all that.
Yeah,
the Bears were on and they were featured, and he looked really good in those games. He looked like he'd been around for a long time, making plays like he owned the place. And
if he would have come back the second half when he got hurt in the playoffs, he never came back. And oh my gosh,
I'm really
overtime, I guess.
Yeah, in the overtime.
Yep.
I'm really excited to see what he does this year because he did look really good the second half of the season.
They did. Chiz.
Yeah, by far the best second half of the season from a tight end perspective, which was really impressive. It seemed to click for him. This is why I'll use him as a case study as why we were afraid of rookies, because a lot of hype and tons of athletic ability. It looked like it should all work. Like Dex said, all the pieces were in place, and it was like nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing from that guy. And so it looked like he became a pro in the second half. I actually think I'm going to go ahead and put this on record.
Oh boy, be careful.
Colson Loveland will be a top 50 player this year for fantasy scoring, which is really hard to do as a tight end. I think he could do it this year because I think Caleb Williams knows how valuable he is. He has good wide receivers. He's got a great running back situation where, he's got, DeAndre Swift, Kyle Monangai. I feel like both of those guys are really solid. So I like what he's got going for him, and I like his upswing. I think he's only going to get better this year. So there's a reason we have him there despite the horrid first half.
Yeah.
We don't think that first half is going to repeat itself at all.
That was indicative of learning the system, learning how to block, learning how to be a pro, run routes. And Cole Kmet, he's a good coach for a tight end. When you have a mentor like him, I think that's pretty darn good.
It's worth saying too that it's not all about Colson Loveland's time it takes to learn the offense and all that. It's also his teammates learning to trust him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So Caleb Williams now trusts him, has earned
absolutely
a little more of the focus during the play when he's like, what do I do now? Oh, there's my safety blanket.
Yep.
Over the middle or whatever, So he's developed trust of his coaches and his teammates now, and it was clear the second half of the season that he was viewed as a legitimate offensive threat. So
they were a young offensive unit last year. And so you had a second-year quarterback, a Dunze, a second-year wide receiver, Luther Burden, a first-year wide receiver, had DJ Moore, but
a brand new OC,
of youth, brand new OC, a lot of moving parts, and they've got a lot back. So that's a good feeling.
That could be good. All right, let's go to our super elite, our top 2, and number 2. And maybe surprising.
This is the only debate: who's going to be number 2 and who's going to be number 1? Because who the top 2 are.
So tight end from Arizona comes in at 2, Trey McBride. So Trey McBride had an epic NFL record-setting season. So 126 catches last year, most in NFL history. 11 touchdowns. I think he quadrupled his normal high. I think he could only never get past 2, and then he goes to 11. Huge jump. Here, I'm going to start off with a little negative Nancy on it. So I had him as my 5th tight end. You're like, oh my God, Dex, Woo, that's aggressive take. He
Right.
has the hardest schedule. So Vegas says you have the hardest schedule. If you look at winning percentage from last year teams, it's third hardest schedule. So he's starting off in a hole. Now, if only you had a great quarterback like Jacoby Brissett. Now, there's nothing wrong with Jacoby Brissett. He's going to be a great coach someday. But as far as like lining it up, I'm not sure that's what I think of when I think Jacoby Brissett and a bottom 5 offensive line and a rookie running back that's going to be leading a stable of crusty veterans. I just don't know if I like it. And then, so you start off at the Chargers, which, I mean, they have a safety, Derwin James, who's among the best in the game. He's going to be on him. Then you go to the Legion of Boom, Seattle. And then you have a division game at San Francisco. You finally get a cakewalk. If you've survived and he's not chopped yet, you get the Giants in week 4. He's the main guy, which is, we've talked about it earlier, on the best guys. Many of these teams are going to double team him, put their best corner on him, their best safety on him, probably put him in a box with a linebacker and one of those two guys. Can he really repeat the best season in the history
Ever?
of football? There's absolute regression that's going to happen. So I'm still thinking he's going to be awesome, like 95 to 105 catches, but that is 30 less. I think he's going to have a lot of touchdowns, like 6 to 8. That is half. So if you take those things, if you have a 95 for 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns, he's not going to be top 3. So that is my argument against it, why I have him personally 5th, but obviously he's 2 for us. Pruitt, on the flip side, you've got him at number 1, despite all these red flags. Tell us why you're like, he's invincible. He's Mr. Burns with every single ailment there is. He's like, but none of them are going to kill him.
So Arizona, because they have the hardest schedule, that means they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. They're going to be behind. I think he's got tremendous opportunity, number 1. And like you said, he's not.
They will be behind.
He's competing with, a rookie running back, and then Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yep.
who's not, elite.
Mercurial.
By any means.
Mercurial.
He's very mercurial.
Hasn't shown it yet.
No.
The projections that I've seen have him more like 108 catches, something like that, and 6 to 8
This is
touchdowns.
still absurd.
It is.
Yeah, it is. But so regression, 100% agree. He's not going to have 130 catches again or whatever. And 11 touchdowns would be rare for any receiver.
They'd have to be in the red zone somehow.
Yeah.
I just don't know how that happens.
That's true. Yeah. So I think a lot of the projections and so forth take that into account, but he's still, in my book, has enough opportunity and enough of a focus in the offense already that I can't see them altering their offensive scheme. Teams will try to take it away for sure, but he was also the focal point last year, and they still gave him 130 catches.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they weren't phenomenal last year either. So
that is true.
I think they will overcome that to find ways to get him the ball. He'll still be as safe as there is for the tight end position.
Solid points. Chiz, anything to add on Mr. McBride?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, what Pruitt said is the reason. We're all aligned he's going to regress, but his team's not better from what it was last year. Well, that's not true. They have more talent at running back this year than they had last year, which should help. And he's still got a poop stick throwing in the ball. So, like, it doesn't really matter, like, which poop stick is throwing in the ball. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't seem to matter who throws him the ball, is what I'm saying. Like, you could put
because
Carson
they all
Beck
do
in there.
Yeah.
You could put Gardner Minshew in there. The backups. Like, the first thing they're going to do is be like, okay, like, where's 85?
Yep. How do we throw this guy?
I'm gonna play the ball
there he
85.
is. He's open again. Weird.
because he's always open. So I don't think he's going to have a record-breaking season. I still think he's the second best tight end you can get. Any worry at all at drafting this guy early in your league?
True. So tell us who number 1 is, because there's only one left. And
So
it's Travis
there can
Kelce.
be only
wait,
one.
just kidding.
Travis Kelce, ladies and gentlemen.
No, we're going back in time. We're going back in time.
5 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's our fierce, hated rival. The stupid
Yeah.
Raiders have the best tight end in football, Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers, who 2 years ago as a rookie set the world on fire. He was a early pick last year. People will take him as early as top 5 picks in Geo drafts all across the nation. Because if you can get a tight end that gives you wideout numbers that early, it is worth its weight in gold. And many people have been using that strategy with the top tight ends a couple seasons before with Kelce, who had wide receiver numbers as a tight end. Kind of gives you a cheat code. But Brock Bowers last year, unfortunately, got hurt in week 1. It was a killer, and he missed multiple games. But he's number 1. What do you like about him, Chiz?
He's number 1 because he's a freak. He's an absolute freak. Like 6'4", 235. He's a wide receiver. He plays like a wide receiver. When he was coming out of Georgia, I was like, oh, dear God, please don't take him, Raiders. Please don't take him. Please don't take him. Please. Oh, damn, they took him. Because he's a guy that I knew was just going to be so good in the league. Mm-hmm. And the Raiders took him. And the Raiders, when you look at what they got around him, like, okay, it's going to be Kirk Cousins to start the season.
Yep.
Like, it looks like right now. Unless something drastically changes in camp, it's going to be Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins ain't no fool. He is going to be very, very, very actively targeting.
Very focused on 89.
Like, because when you're looking at the wide receiving core in Las Vegas, Jack Beck. Is this guy in the league? I didn't even know this guy was still in the league.
He might be worse than Cleveland's.
Jalen Naylor, who I think is like wide receiver 4 on every team he's been in before.
Journeyman. He's been with the Philly and Minnesota.
He was on the Vikings last year.
Yep.
Trey Tucker. Like, this is your starting wide receiver core.
Yeah.
Like, what I see from this team is Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers. And so when you got 2 guys that are going to score, get them.
Yeah.
Right?
They will be the focal point, guaranteed.
Get these guys. And Kirk Cousins is going to throw to this guy a lot, I promise you.
Absolutely. Sure. Pruitt, what do you think? Why is he number 1?
Yeah, he's that good.
Do you have any reservations whatsoever this year? Because since he came off an injury-riddled year last year.
Not particularly. I mean, I think anybody can get hurt in any given year.
Yep.
I still like his upside, obviously. I did have him ranked 2nd. So I had McBride 1st and I had Brock Bowers 2nd. Both of them play on below average teams. Both of them are kind of the featured receiver on that team. So in both cases, I think they're going to be playing from behind a lot. I think they both have a lot of opportunity for, catching passes. And that's the name of the game for tight ends, is lots of receptions. And
it is. And the other thing that goes along fantastic is, so new head coach was the offensive coordinator for Seattle last year, Clint Kubiak. I think that helps.
Yes.
They got a new center to upgrade their line, and they get the 32nd ranked defense, the 32nd ranked pass coverage secondary in the league, Miami, week 1. They got a mid-pack Chargers week 2. They got mid-pack New Orleans week 3. Week 4, there's no corners anymore for Kansas City because we gave them all to the Rams. And it's going to be linebackers. And I don't know what they're going to do. So you've got a long
You're going to have Nick
stretch
Bolton
of freeway,
about 3
baby.
yards behind him. That's what you're going to have.
You got a long stretch of freeway with Brock Bowers for the first couple months, that's why, frankly, I gave him the 1 because he's just got a better schedule and he's really freaking good. He's also the focal point of the offense. He's awesome.
I think I'll make this point about Bowers, McBride. I think those 2 in particular are quarterback proof. I don't care who they're like. My one-legged grandfather could be playing quarterback and he would find those guys and they would get multiple touchdowns. Like they're that good. Like, they have not played with talent and they've put up these numbers on bad teams. Like,
it's true.
That is
because
just unheard of.
6'4" and they're 5 yards from the quarterback.
It always helps.
Right? I mean, their wingspan is so good that you and I can hit that target.
All right. So that's our top 10. So again, we got Dallas Goeddert, Jake Ferguson, Tucker Kraft, Harold Fannin Jr., Sam Laporta, Kyle Pitts, Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland, Trey McBride, and number 1, Brock Bowers. I want to go into what we've been doing the last couple episodes with our wideouts, quarterbacks, running backs, the ones that you ranked in the top 10 that didn't make our Shrewdness top 10. So, Pruitt, you had Mark Andrews at number 9. He missed just by our list at number 12 overall. What is an upside about Mark Andrews? Why do you think he did not get in the top 10 on our list? What are some concerns?
So concerns is that he's old.
Yep.
The plus side for Mark Andrews, like we talked about in our wide receiver episode, and maybe our running back, and maybe every time we talk about Baltimore, we say this. Same supporting cast, right?
Yep.
So he's played with Lamar Jackson for many years now. They know each other well. Isaiah Likely is gone from Baltimore now. So
that helps.
I think that
was
helps.
sucking away a lot of his targets.
Yeah. So I think that gives more opportunities to Mark Andrews to kind of resurrect himself as a top 10 tight end.
So you still think he's a playable guillotine tight end?
I do. I would certainly rather have one of those top 5 guys or something.
Yeah.
But similar to Dallas Goedert, Mark Andrews has been around a long time.
Yeah.
And I think he's a solid choice to anchor that mid-level tight end from the 8th best to the 14th best. They're very, very tightly projected to score about the same. So any of those guys in that range,
they do love him in the red zone still. There's a lot of plays thrown up for him in the red zone.
Yep. And he's still going to get those targets and opportunities. So I want to talk about the one you said he just lost the targets to. So Isaiah Likely is mine. I didn't have him top 10, but he's just outside. So Isaiah Likely went to the Giants. So handpicked by Harbaugh, basically to come on over as a free agent to be my tight end one. So Theo Johnson now takes a back seat to Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely is a big, strong target. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Isaiah Likely. My only concern with him is he's never been the number 1. So he's 26-year-old, 6'4", 241. Can he handle it? Probably. But as far as like consistent showings, he had 2 double-digit games last season. That's it. So that gives me some pause. I'm like, well, is he in a better situation? We had Lamar Jackson last year. I mean, now I love the New York Giants situation, and I love their skill position players. If Malik Neighbors comes back, that will help. I think Isaiah Likely is still going to be a good red zone guy. So I think what we were talking about, some of these other guys, I think he could easily get 6 to 8 touchdowns. And Scadaboo's going to be looked. Malik Neighbors is going to be looked there, obviously. And Jackson Dart's going to run some, which could scoop some of those touchdowns away. But Isaiah Likely could have a pretty sneaky good year for the Giants this year. Anything you guys dislike about Isaiah Likely in that situation in New York?
He needs this much shorter shoes.
Oh, he needs the white shoes too instead of black. That's a reference to the Chiefs game 2 years ago, opening day, when the big toe was out of bounds in the back line.
Little smaller feet would help him out a lot.
I don't like his big feet.
That's right.
I like him a lot too, Dex, because I do think he's been an also 2 tight end situation. So I love the fact that he is going to get a chance. I think he's an incredible talent. So
I do too.
It's going to be fun to watch.
I think he'll be pretty good.
Do you think they'll use Theo Johnson in a 2 tight end?
I think he's going to be the blocking tight end, is what the reports are coming out of Giants camp. Right. I think Isaiah Likely is going to be lining up outside in the slot, kind of being the big dude off the line that's running the routes. Yeah, so that's what it sounds like.
That's probably the way they should play it, because Harbaugh used 2 tight ends a lot in Baltimore.
Yeah,
if that factors in at all to limit
that's a good point.
Likely's upside, but if he's at least named the 1, that at least gives him more opportunity for sure.
Well, the offensive coordinator is Matt Nagy, so I mean, we know that guy. So I don't know, not the worst, not the best.
Is likely.
All right. Speaking of, let's go to former just beast of tight ends. Chisholm, tell us who didn't make the list for probably the first time ever not being a top 10.
Let me tell you guys something. There's no way that this guy is going to have a good year. He is 30. He's 36. He's turning 37. He's slow. He is not nearly as athletic as he was in the past. His quarterback's coming off of an ACL, MCL injury. He just married a billionaire. He has no reason to care about the game anymore. He's got no incentive, right? Travis Kelce is done. We should not even be talking about Travis Kelce, right?
Except
not so fast, my friend. Last year, Travis Kelce, at the ripe old age of 35, turning 36 in the middle of the season, was the third scoring tight end in fantasy. And that was after the last 4 games. You guys remember the Chiefs season was over. It was over with like 5 games left. And if you look at his games last year, before the end of the season was horrible. And it's because he didn't care. He was trying not to get hurt, saving himself for later, whatever. Look at his first half of the season last year. Guys, it was monster. It was monster.
Yeah.
He had 12, 10, 7, 10, 19, 13, 8, 21, 12, 24. I mean, come on. What do you want out of a tight end? Right? Yeah. Everybody is looking at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seasons in a row of 1,000 yards or more.
Yeah,
from Travis
1,300 one year.
He had 12, 11, 9, 10, 8 touchdowns. Okay, stop. That's alien. Okay, that doesn't happen. That is once in a generation. You get a guy like that. We happen to have been lucky to get 2 of those guys for the Chiefs. We got Tony Gonzalez. We had him. But tight ends don't do this, and they don't do it for that long. Yeah. If they do, their window's much shorter. So do I think that Kelce is going to be slower? Yes. Do I think that Kelce is going to be a little bit weaker? Yes. Do I think that Kelce wants to go out with the Super Bowl? Absolutely.
Also, yes.
He's back for one more ride with Mahomes? And do I think he wants it to go out as a whimper and him just kind of half doing it? He's leaving everything on the field. This is the last season, and he is not going to leave hobbling off as a shadow of himself. He's going to leave with a solid season, top 10 season. Write it down. He's probably even higher than 9, honestly. And the reason why is he's just so freaking smart. He knows where to find the gap in the defense, and he and Patty are right here. And that's not going to change. I think we're all underestimating him still. I think everybody is. So we'll
see. I know. Time will tell, and what we see the first month of the season will tell us a lot. But Travis Kelce, we had him at 11th. He came in at just out of the top 10. Again, first time in a decade we have said Travis Kelce not a top 10 tight end. He's 11 for us. And that's even with the homerism, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's what we got for our tight end episode. Thank you very much for listening. We're going to do some kind of sleepers next week and some players we like. So kind of like for each category, quarterbacks, running backs, wideouts, tight ends. Some we like. I don't know if they're technically sleepers, but they're ones that are going to be drafted lower that we think have a lot of upside.
Good.
So we'll talk about
mid-pack guys. Yeah,
mid-pack
picks.
Yep.
Value picks. High floors, all the things that, all the keywords in Guillotine that you need to know.
Yep. They might be low on some other list you look at, and they might be higher on ours, or vice versa. We're going to tell you who to kind of lean away from. There'll be a couple of those. And we're going to tell you some to kind of bump up your list, and also just some to keep an eyeball on during training camp because we got to see what's going on.
Depth charts are still being settled out. So
yes,
right.
So not all positions are locked down yet. So that's what to look forward to next week. Again, all of our content's going to be on the shrewdness.beam.ly. Please check that out. We're on some more platforms. Chiz, you want to tell us where they can now find our podcast?
Yeah, so we're adding platforms daily. We've always been on Spotify and YouTube, right? And so now we've added Amazon Music, we've added Audible, we've added iHeart Radio, and we've added Castbox. So Apple coming soon, but you can get us on additional spots now, and you can always get us on YouTube and always get us on Spotify where we've started out. But more will be coming. We'll be adding more over the coming weeks.
Yep. And then again, one more plug for the Shrewdness Listener League. I think we have maybe 3 spots left that we have not filled yet, or I haven't heard back. So if you want to be in it from last year, you better get back to me. Otherwise, we're going to give those 3 spots away. So again, it's super fun. We have a blast. We talk about it on the show each week and kind of go through all the fun stuff that comes with that. So
you may
with
even
that,
get a guest appearance on the Shrewdness.
you may even get a guest appearance if you're so willing to show
You
up
never
after being
know.
chopped.
You
You
never
never know. So that's what to look forward to this year. But keep looking to training camp, keep getting your list updated, and look forward to the next episode coming soon to you. But until then, I want everybody out there, stay shrewd.
Stay shrewd, everybody.
Stay shrewd.